What if being busy is actually making you fail? Not succeed. Not grow. But quietly, slowly, fail. Welcome back to Human Game Theory. Today we're going to talk about something that nobody wants to admit. The fact that most people are addicted to being busy. And that addiction is costing them their health, their relationships, their dreams, and they don't even know it's happening. Let's start with a question. When was the last time you did absolutely nothing? No phone. No podcast. No music. No to-do list. Just silence. If that question made you uncomfortable, this video is for you. Here's what's really going on inside your brain. When you're busy, constantly moving, constantly doing, constantly reacting, your brain releases a steady drip of dopamine. The same chemical we talked about with spending money. Busyness feels productive. It feels virtuous. It feels safe. For many people, busyness has nothing to do with productivity. But neuroscientists have discovered something alarming. It's a coping mechanism. A way to avoid silence. Because silence forces you to think. And thinking forces you to face things you've been running from. Your fears. Your regrets. Your unfulfilled dreams. Your uncomfortable truths. Busyness is the world's most socially acceptable escape. Now let's talk about something called the default mode network. This is a part of your brain that activates specifically when you're not doing anything. When you're daydreaming. When you're resting. When you're just sitting quietly. And here's what scientists discovered: the default mode network is responsible for your most creative thoughts. Your best ideas. Your ability to connect dots, solve problems, and understand yourself. Every great artist, scientist, philosopher, and entrepreneur in history had one thing in common: they protected their idle time. Einstein took long walks with no destination. Newton discovered gravity sitting under a tree doing nothing. Steve Jobs had daily walks where he refused to talk about work. They weren't lazy. They were feeding the most powerful part of their brain. And you? You're starving it. Every minute of your day is filled. Every silence is killed with a scroll. And your best ideas, your real potential, never gets a chance to surface. But why did we become like this? Let's go back to the beginning. For most of human history, rest was survival. You hunted, you gathered, you rested. Busyness was seasonal. But then came the Industrial Revolution. Suddenly, your value as a human being became tied to your output. How much you produced. How many hours you worked. Rest became laziness. Silence became weakness. And that belief got passed down, from parents to children, from culture to culture, until today, where we wear our exhaustion like a badge of honor. I'm so busy. I only slept 4 hours. I haven't taken a vacation in 2 years. We say these things like they're achievements. But they're not. They're symptoms. Symptoms of a society that confused movement with progress. And then, the smartphone arrived. And everything got worse. Because now, for the first time in human history, boredom became impossible. Every moment of potential silence, standing in line, waiting for food, lying in bed, is immediately filled. With content. With notifications. With noise. And the apps? They're designed specifically for this. Every social media platform, every news app, every streaming service, they are built by teams of the world's smartest engineers with one single goal: to make sure you never have a quiet moment. Because a quiet moment is a moment you might stop using their app. So they keep you busy. They keep you scrolling. They keep you reacting. And slowly, your attention span shrinks. Your creativity disappears. Your ability to sit with your own thoughts, one of the most fundamentally human abilities, starts to die. Now I want to tell you about a study that will change how you see this. In 2014, researchers at the University of Virginia ran an experiment. They put people alone in a room with nothing to do for 15 minutes. No phone. No book. Nothing. The only option they had, if they wanted, was to press a button that would give them a mild electric shock. You know what happened? 2/3 of men and 1/4 of women chose to shock themselves rather than sit quietly with their thoughts for 15 minutes. They chose physical pain over silence. Think about that. We have become so afraid of our own minds that we would rather hurt ourselves than be alone with our thoughts. That is not a productivity problem. That is a mental health crisis disguised as a lifestyle. So what does this actually cost you in real life? Number 1, your creativity dies. The best solutions to your biggest problems almost never come when you're staring at a screen. They come in the shower, on a walk, in the moment just before you fall asleep. These are the moments when your default mode network is active. When you eliminate all idle time, you eliminate the conditions where breakthrough thinking happens. Number 2, your relationships suffer. When was the last time you had a conversation with someone you love, with no phone nearby, no TV on, no distraction? Real connection requires presence. And presence requires stillness. Number 3, you lose yourself. When every moment is filled with external input, other people's opinions, other people's lives, other people's content, you slowly forget what you actually think, what you actually want, what you actually believe. Busyness is one of the most effective ways to lose your identity without even noticing. So what do? How do you break free from the addiction to busyness? Step 1. Schedule do-nothing time. This sounds ridiculous, but it works. Put 20 minutes in your calendar every day with no agenda, no podcast, no phone. Just exist. Walk without headphones. Sit without scrolling. Let your mind wander. This is not wasted time. This is investment in your brain's highest functions. Step 2. Redefine productivity. Productivity is not how many tasks you complete. It is how much progress you make toward what actually matters. A person who works 12 hours on the wrong things is less productive than a person who works 3 hours on the right ones. Slow down enough to ask, is what I'm doing right now actually moving my life forward? Step 3. Create phone-free zones. Your bedroom. Your meals. The first 30 minutes of your morning. Protect these spaces. Because how you start your day determines the quality of your thinking for everything that follows. Step 4. Embrace boredom. The next time you're standing in line, waiting for food, or sitting in silence, resist the urge to reach for your phone. Stay there. Be bored. Because boredom is not emptiness. Boredom is your brain-clearing space for something better. Step 5. Ask the uncomfortable question. What am I avoiding by staying busy? Because for most people, the busyness is protecting them from something. A difficult conversation. A life change they know they need to make. A dream they're afraid to pursue. The silence will show you what it is. And that, as uncomfortable as it feels, is the beginning of real change. Here's the truth that human game theory is built on. You are not a machine. You were not designed for infinite output. You were designed to think, to feel, to create, to connect, and to rest. The world will always give you more to do. There will never be a moment when everything is done. The inbox will never be empty. The notifications will never stop. So the choice is yours. You can spend your entire life being busy. Reacting, scrolling, rushing, always moving, never arriving. Or you can choose something harder and rarer. You can choose to be still. To think deeply. To live intentionally. That is not laziness. That is the highest form of intelligence. If this made you stop and think, even for a moment, then it worked. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. See you in the next episode.